A historic springtime snowstorm impacting much of the central part of the country, including Wisconsin. Live coverage tonight as the roads get slick.
And a man charged with domestic abuse is found living at a home owned by a group that helps victims of domestic violence. We are looking into this during a News 3 Now investigation.
Plus, Beloit police are looking into an accidental shooting involving a 5-year-old boy.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
And thanks for joining us. Police have an important reminder for drivers tonight. Slow down.
Our springtime snowstorm is starting to make roads slick. Meteorologist Dana Fulton joins us now with her latest first alert forecast. Dana?
The good news, most of the snowfall out of the Madison downtown area. Not so great news for those north and west, as we're continuing to see some heavier snowfall fall for central and eastern Wisconsin. This is a look at our track for the last 3 hours. Certainly had moments of very heavy snow here at Madison. Thick, heavy flakes as our temperatures were just above freezing at the surface. Not a lot of accumulation on the roads or sidewalks, but that moisture still leading to some very slick driving conditions. Most of our accumulation, at least in Dane County, is on the grass. Again, looking north of the Dells towards Camp Douglas, also towards Fond du Lac and Sheboygan, that's where we're currently seeing the heavier snowfall. It is breezy outside this evening, 21 miles per hour right now, Mineral Point, 24 miles per hour in Platteville, coming from the northeast. Our visibility also a concern. That's right in line with the areas where we're seeing the heavier snow. Visibility is reduced significantly. About 32 degrees currently in Madison, 36 in Janesville, and about 36 in Mineral Point as well. We're expecting our temperatures to really hover in the mid to low 30s through the next several hours. We do have the chance to pick up a few more freezing drizzle spots, maybe even a few more snowflakes, but we're not really expecting much more accumulation through the rest of this evening. We do still have alert days in the forecast for tonight and tomorrow. We're not out of the woods just yet. Now that the snow's through, we are expecting mixed precipitation and the chance for some very strong thunderstorms for Thursday. Let's take a closer look at what's ahead for the rest of the week in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Dana. While snow for the most part is not sticking to our roads, we are still seeing some hazardous conditions, particularly to our north.
And our Amy Reed joins us live just off I-90-94 with the latest on the status of a semi-crash. Amy?
That's right. Since the interstate is closed down when you're going westbound after you get past Boston, this is the closest we can get to the interstate. And about 20 minutes ago, a tow truck just hauled off this semi-truck that crashed and caused quite a large backup. And here's what that looked like. We talked to State Patrol, and right now they don't know how the driver of the truck is doing, but he said the other crashes he's seen today have all had only minor injuries, so hopefully we'll see the same thing here. Drivers are being allowed back on the interstate here, but it is blocked off at Boston. That's exit 69. That was due to this semi and another crash where someone was going too fast for conditions and then encountered that backup. The State Patrol just wants to remind you to take it easy in these conditions, slow down, give yourself a lot of space between you and the car in front of you, and give yourself time to get where you're going.
All right,
Back
Amy Reed, live along the interstate near Boston. Amy, thank you. And of course, we will have more on today's snowfall, including what we can expect for tomorrow morning's commute. It's coming up in about 15 minutes.
Police need your help finding a missing senior from Fitchburg. A silver alert was issued for Leonard Danielson. He's 91 years old and was last seen a little after 11 o'clock this morning. Police say he was given written directions for the Middleton Senior Center to play bridge, but Bridge Day is on Monday, and Wednesday is the day to play at the Verona Senior Center. Neither center has seen him. Leonard has an oxygen tank with him, and it is believed to have 5 hours of use when he left on Wednesday. Anyone with information should call Fitchburg Police. We are asking questions tonight about why a man charged with domestic abuse was living in a home owned by an area group that combats domestic violence. Only News 3 Now's Keely Arthur tells us the man is also the son of the organization's executive director.
The Hope House of South Central Wisconsin has offices based here in Baraboo. Their mission is to prevent abuse and provide support to survivors, which makes this situation all the more disturbing.
A female was calling us quite distraught She was stating that her boyfriend had pushed and shoved her. They had been in some kind of an altercation.
That man is Zachary Allen. The 32-year-old was charged with domestic abuse, among other things, for the December 2018 incident, which took place in downtown Baraboo.
Violated a number of different laws.
Hope House, which provides help for people dealing with domestic abuse, confirmed today that in exchange for doing maintenance work, Allen lived at one of their satellite properties. We are not sharing the location to protect the privacy of Hope House clients. Police confirm he is the son of the organization's executive director, Ellen Allen. A spokesperson for Hope House told us Zachary Allen is no longer living at the property, but according to police records, he lived there months after the alleged abuse incident in December. On March 3rd, Baraboo police responded to the property for a welfare check on Allen.
He was in a home that was owned by Hope House. And was eventually contacted in that home. However, that took quite a bit of doing to get in contact with him to make sure that, A, he wasn't going to harm himself, any of the police officers there, or anyone else.
Allen was not charged in that incident. Police Captain Rob Sinden says no one else was at the property at the time, and it's unclear if any Hope House clients lived there while Allen was a resident. Sinden says he knows this is a tough situation, but doesn't want it to diminish all of the good Hope House does in the community.
It's through resources like Hope House that help us, law enforcement, do our jobs to make sure that no one else gets victimized. We would love a world where domestic abuse becomes a thing of the past.
Allen is due back in Sauk County Court on July 25th for a jury trial. In Baraboo, Keely Arthur, News 3 Now.
Hope House officials declined to comment on how long Allen lived at the property and if he had any interaction with clients.
Police in Beloit are trying to figure out how a child got a hold of a gun, causing an accidental shooting. This incident has some gun owners talking safety tonight. Adam Duxter shares what they're saying. Adam?
Well, Eric, it's difficult to hear about what happened to this Beloit family last night. But today I also spoke with someone who said this could have and should have never happened to begin with. For some of us, our jobs are based on our passions. This holds true for Janesville native Jake Fox.
It was something that I do as a hobby for myself.
Who manages CTR Firearms in Janesville.
We sell the entire firearms experience. We sell safety, we sell the firearms themselves, we sell holsters.
The former military member knows a lot about the product he sells.
Something for more like a shooting competition would be like this one.
Most importantly, how to treat them with care and use them safely.
Treat every weapon as if it were loaded. Never point a weapon at anything you do not intend to shoot. Keep your finger straight and off the trigger until you're ready to fire.
It's this knowledge that Jake makes sure anyone purchasing a firearm knows. Which is why he hates learning about situations like the one last night in Beloit, where a 5-year-old boy was rushed to the hospital after police say he shot himself with the gun he found inside his home.
That's just unsafe firearms handling. Obviously, this child wasn't old enough to know those type of things, but it's something that you can teach your kids from a young age.
The boy who accidentally shot himself in the hand is now out of the hospital, but police say they're now looking into what happened with the help of Child Protective Services.
I just think it's important to remember that we don't have all the full details yet, and so our detectives are interviewing individuals and finding out what exactly happened.
But for someone passionate about doing things safely,
it can fit a better need, you know. It's called the speed vault.
It serves as a reminder that the concept of gun safety can never be discussed enough.
It's something that could be avoided just with safer handling and storage.
Beloit police say it's too early to tell whether or not charges will be filed in this case. But again, looking at what happened, they say they could have been dealing with something much worse.
Adam Duxter reporting in Rock County. Adam, thank you.
A building in the Lake Delton area sustained more than $1 million in damage after catching fire. Firefighters got the call at 3 o'clock this morning for the fire on Grand Canyon Drive. The 2-story building was under construction, so there was no one inside, and no one was injured.
Wisconsin Supreme Court candidate Judge Lisa Neubauer has decided against a recount. She conceded to Judge Brian Hagedorn today Judge Neubauer said she called Hagedorn and wished him the best in his tenure. The two were separated by just a half a percentage point. The Hagedorn win means the conservative majority on the court will increase to 5-2 when he begins his 10-year term in August. Conservatives will hold the majority until at least 2023.
Village President Brad Saboter will get started on a strategic planning process for McFarland after election results were triple-checked, showing he is the winner. A recently discovered absentee ballot was opened today during the Municipal Board of Canvassers meeting. The ballot was cast for incumbent Saboter, meaning he actually defeated his challenger, Carolyn Clow, by 2 votes, not the previously thought 1 vote. Clow says she will not appeal the results. The village clerk concluded that 2 errors were made on election night. Someone voted who was not on the poll list, and the absentee ballot went missing. Those 2 errors actually balanced the numbers out, which meant officials did not immediately notice a ballot was missing. They still do not know how it happened.
The latest Marquette Law School poll numbers reveal a continued divide in Wisconsin. Of roughly 800 respondents, 42% favor Donald Trump's re-election, 56% say they'll go in another direction. As to who will lead the Democrats, of 411 people contacted identifying as either Democrats or independents, Bernie Sanders now leads with 32% of the vote. Joe Biden at 29%. That is a reversal of January poll numbers. Only 3 other candidates, Senators Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, and former Congressman Beto O'Rourke, hit double digits. Expect big changes, according to poll leader Charles Franklin, in the months ahead. The governor's office now looking for someone to fill the district attorney position open in Columbia County until a permanent replacement is hired. The Dodge County District Attorney Kurt Klomber will serve as special prosecutor in charge of the Columbia County District Attorney's office. That county's former DA, Tristan Egan, abruptly resigned yesterday. In her letter of resignation, she called Columbia County a, quote, toxic environment. Governor Tony Evers' office now begins the 2-week application process. It is unclear if the role will be filled in the interim.
Just ahead, many travelers choose the lower cost and convenience of train travel in southern Wisconsin.
And now Amtrak could be adding to its service along the local railways. How it could affect those around here, that's next on News 3 Now at 6. A plan to double the frequency of Amtrak service from the Twin Cities to Milwaukee and Chicago is moving forward.
Chris Lewinberg tells us how it could impact communities along the rails.
On Linda and Dan Brown's trip, the destination is more important than the journey. And their destination is, well, out of this world.
We're off to Chicago. This time we're going to combine it with the Star Wars convention.
While it's no Millennium Falcon, the Amtrak definitely isn't a bad ride.
It's certainly convenient. It's a very comfortable, inexpensive way to travel if you have the time.
And economical.
Economical.
There are around 7,700 rides at the Portage Amtrak station every year, but city officials say that raising that number is about more than just a convenient ride. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation's plan would add a second round-trip train from the Twin Cities to Chicago, which the city of Portage says can only be a good thing.
The additional train that we're talking about in each direction on the Empire Builder has, I think, the capacity to bring more people, young and old alike, and increase our workforce.
The train would travel on existing track, with the inclusion of sidings to make room for the additional passenger train. The DOT recently learned the project qualifies for an abbreviated environmental study, which could dampen its economic impact.
I think it's something that is relatively low-hanging fruit. It's transportation improvement that we can do that's low-hanging fruit, low cost and high benefit.
As long as the Brown family can travel up and away.
Or say the force be with you or whatever.
They're flying high.
We would wish that Amtrak would grow and get more modern and just keep moving forward.
I'm Chris Lewinberg, News 3 Now.
Next, the DOT needs to secure funding. The project is estimated to cost about $75 million. If approved, 70 to 80% of the cost would be covered by federal grants and the rest by the state.
We have alert days for both tonight and tomorrow.
Dana shares what we can expect next in the First Alert forecast. A statewide tornado drill scheduled for tomorrow has been pushed back because of our potential for severe weather.
The drill will now take place on Friday. Of course, they don't want to do that when they're concerned about the potential for severe weather, and that, I guess, could be a possibility. As Dana joins us with a look at what's happening. We're kind of transforming from one thing to the other right now, right?
Yeah, a little bit of everything for the next few days. Of course, over the last few hours, we've been looking at snow sliding through. Most of that snow now into central and northern Wisconsin. Tomorrow, we're looking at the chance for rain and maybe maybe some strong thunderstorms. So that's why we don't want to have the tornado drill when we do have the potential for some stronger thunderstorms to slide through. So this is currently where the heavier snow is, stretching up and soon to be into Green Bay. In southern Wisconsin, we have a little bit of a break. Notice, though, parts of Grant County seeing just a few spots of mixed precipitation. We have the chance for some spotty drizzle and some spotty sleet tonight. May even see a few spotty snowflakes, but most of the heavier snowfall now up into central Wisconsin. They're going to continue to see snowfall for the next few hours. The center of the system actually off in the plains, bringing snowfall throughout South Dakota into Minnesota and stretching into Wisconsin. We're going to continue to watch that moisture band move through for the next few days. Our system not crossing over Wisconsin until Friday. So overnight, most of the precip is actually going to be rainfall, that freezing line slowly pushing north as the center of this system starts to move northeast. By Thursday night, we're still looking at rain. It's not until Friday morning all of that rain is really off to the east. The center of it crosses right over the state, and we may see a few flurries or a few mixed precip spots for us Friday morning, but most of that snow chance is going to stay up into northern Wisconsin throughout the day on Friday. Overnight chances for any moisture are going to be pretty spotty and not a lot of accumulation. And that rain, of course, once it starts to fall, is just going to eat away at any snow that we do have on the ground. So the little bit that we do have on the grass currently around Madison, don't plan on it staying much longer. Snow, though, up towards Camp Douglas and Black River Falls could pick up several more inches throughout the evening and overnight. By tomorrow morning, plan on a very breezy start to the day and a cloudy day when it's not raining outside. Through the morning, again, that chance for a little mixed precip. In the afternoon, though, we're looking at the chance for some heavier rainfall at times and some stronger thunderstorms. We may be dealing with wind gusts over 40 miles per hour for us for tomorrow afternoon and later in the evening with that thunderstorm line sliding through. Friday morning, still cloudy, but not really looking at the chance for much moisture to slide down to southern Wisconsin. Anywhere north of Dane County under a winter weather advisory tonight because of the road conditions with all of the snow falling. Visibility reduced significantly. Our wind advisory is for the southern portion of the state, as those wind gusts tomorrow are just going to climb as that line of storm slides on through. Wind gusts, again, up to 40 miles per hour possible for us. We do still have alert days in the forecast for tonight and for Thursday. Tonight, of course, the possibility for a little mix in southern Wisconsin, but still seeing snow in the central portion of the state. Tomorrow, the concern for wind and thunderstorms. Overnight low of about 33, so close to where we're at right now. We're not going to move around much with our temperatures. Tomorrow, plan on a high in the mid-40s. It'll stay cool through the weekend, but the system will steadily start to wrap up for us with rain gradually ending on Friday. That's a quick look at your forecast.
Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers isn't in a waiting mood. We'll hear from the two-time MVP coming up next in sports. The Packers in Green Bay for off-season workouts, and according to linebacker Blake Martinez, quarterback Aaron Rodgers hasn't formally brought up the online article radio interview stuff from the last week. The team met with new head coach Matt LaFleur and his staff, but despite the fact that there are many new faces in new places, Rodgers says there's no grace period for the green and gold to get back to where they think they should be.
This isn't like other transitions where you kind of maybe give a pass for the first year or two as you get acclimated to the system. I mean, we have, veteran quarterback, veteran offensive lineman. We signed, some big free agents for us, especially 3 on defense. There's an expectation living and playing here that you're going to compete for championships, and I think we all expect to do that.
The most consistent part of the Wisconsin offensive attack has been Jonathan Taylor leading the running game. Now, the junior-to-be is going to be a front-runner in the Heisman Trophy conversation, and he's received plenty of help from backfield partner Garrett Groshek. But who's going to step up when they both need something more? Last season, it was Tywan Deal. This season, to be determined. And head coach Paul Chryst told me spring is a good time to start making that determination.
There are spots or roles to be earned, and the first thing you got to do is show that you can do it. And then I think it's doing it consistently. And I think that's where spring's a good time for them to get those reps, and the consistency probably won't come until fall camp, truthfully.
Well, last night's Brewers game ended this morning. If you fell asleep, I did not. Brewers fought back from down 6-0, but Jonathan Lucroy, the old beer maker, ties it at 8. He also drew a bases-loaded walk. The Angels win 11-8. They'll go for the sweep tonight. My Marquette sociology classmate, Dwayne Wade, played his final NBA game last night in Miami. They missed the playoffs by inches afterward, wanted to address the home crowd, and then, oops. Yeah, but he got it done. He tweeted that was another reminder that it is time to retire. Next stop, Naismith Hall of Fame. Bucks regular season finale tonight when they host the Thunder. Closed practice, no shoot-around access today. And this is as close as Giannis is going to get to the court this evening. What's left of the Bradley Center wall, where the Bucks last won a playoff series in 2001. Masters par 3 contest. Jack Nicklaus, when will he not be signing autographs for hours at a golf event? This is Devin Bling, 7th hole, 19-year-old UCLA Bruin, going to play in his first Masters tomorrow. No pressure. Tracking. And in. He will not sleep tonight. Sandy Lyle won the par 3 tournament with shots like this. The real one tees off tomorrow morning in Augusta. Big league sporting events usually have way too expensive concessions, but the Masters, $2, $1.50, $3, everything. $3 barbecue sandwiches. All the snacks are $2 or less. I love this. You have 20 bucks. I mean, that's like a weekend's full of food.
You know you don't have any money left when you get there, though.
You get the couch cushions, what fell out of your pockets.
So how was Dwayne Wade in sociology? Did he show up for class all the time?
He did. There were 4 or 5 guys from the basketball team. That was the year he had to sit out his freshman year, and everyone was like, oh, this guy's really good. I was like, oh, how good can he be?
Famous
pretty good. He's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, final check of the forecast.
So we do still have the chance, of course, to see some sleet, rain, and snow for us around Madison and central Wisconsin. If you're in the Dells, you're still seeing snow, and we'll continue to see snow overnight. Alert day in the forecast through the rest of the evening and for Thursday. Thursday, because we have the chance for rain and some strong thunderstorms in the afternoon. All of this wraps up for us on Friday. We will be a little cooler and a little clearer by the weekend.
Dana, thank you. And thank you for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.